Do you want to feel amazing after your next talk, engaging and memorable, calm in front of an audience? Then you're in the right place. Stronger Public Speaking offers massive ROI, helping you stand out, advance your career, and influence others. When Colin Ryan speaks, audiences lean in, laugh, interact, and make meaningful changes. He will show you how you can become an influential communicator, storyteller, and leader in hours, not years. Here's Colin Ryan.
I'm just better off the cuff. Maybe you've said this. I know I have. It's a common feeling, especially when it comes to public speaking. You start thinking, I just want to wing it. I don't want to rely on notes, and I don't want to overwhelm people with slides. I just want to go up there and do my thing. What's really underneath that, though, is something deeper, which is that we don't really like how we feel when we're in front of an audience. In casual conversation, we're at ease, we're fully ourselves, and then we step onto the stage and suddenly it's like, who is this person? This isn't me. Why am I so awkward? Why do I feel so awkward? Why can't I just relax? And see, that's where the desire to speak off the cuff comes from. We want to reclaim that natural, comfortable, expert, confident version of ourselves that suddenly disappears when we try to speak to a group of people. And I get it, I really do. But I want to give you 3 reasons why the off-the-cuff approach really does not work. And I'm not just going to tell you what's wrong and then sign off. I will also tell you a better and an easier and a more effective way forward that will get you the results you want. So let's dive in. Reason number 1, it's not great to go off the cuff. It is unpredictable. All right, so when you wing it, you're gambling. You are pulling the arm on that slot machine. There are moments when you're up there and it's clicking. You're in flow. You make up a joke on the fly and it goes great. Like things come together and it feels amazing. And you kind of think like, man, I just want to do that. But the reality is that those moments are rare and they are impossible to predict. What is much easier to predict, though, is that if you don't prepare, you're going to ramble, you're going to lose the thread, you're going to take a tangent down a path into the woods, and it feels important to you, and you lose the point, confuse your audience. Let's say you're giving a presentation at work about a big project, and you're confident, you know the material inside out. Because you're winging it, you spend 15 minutes talking about the setup, and then the last 5 minutes on the actual results. And so your audience, your boss, your colleagues are quietly thinking, okay, but where's the point? And then because you're running out of time, you speed through the meat of the presentation, blasting through slides, like it's a film strip and just hustling to the end. And so what happens, right? You've presented the most important part at the time when your audience is the most tired and you have the least time to really get it to land. Tangents are a landmine and it's hard to resist them, but preparation is a great way to avoid it. Tangents are exhausting for listeners. At first, they're going to follow you because they're curious, but eventually they will check out. They'll start thinking, where is this going? Or more likely, should I start checking my email on my phone right now? So speaking off the cuff isn't actually about being yourself. It's about relying on yourself to sort of magically land every moment. And that's a huge risk. But it's not either or. You can be yourself and be intentional. All right? And that's what I really want to present to you. You can be yourself and be intentional. It's not one or the other. When you prepare, you're not gambling on what's going to come out of your mouth. You're crafting an experience that respects your audience's time and attention. And that leads us to reason number 2. Reason number 2 to not go off the cuff, because preparation just makes you so much better. A great story is written. A great presentation is refined. These elements are not created out of thin air. They're built. So good speakers are writers, even if they don't think of themselves that way, because they're testing ideas, they're experimenting with structure and clarity, and they're cutting the stuff that doesn't work. So they're planning their openings for impact, shaping stories for clarity, rehearsing so their delivery feels natural. So that's writing and then delivering, and it's an iterative process. Maybe right now you're thinking, if I write everything down, won't I sound stiff and, sort of robotic? And yeah, that's a fair concern. The goal, though, is not to memorize every word. It's to internalize your key points and practice them enough so that you can adapt as needed. Think of it this way. When you rehearse, you're building muscle memory. You're freeing up mental bandwidth so that you can focus on connecting with your audience rather than scrambling for your next thought. It's not going to make you sound robotic. It's going to make you sound intentional. The myth that great speakers just wing it, it really isn't true. Even comedians, and I've seen this firsthand, there's an art to seeming spontaneous when you've really put in a lot of thought. And, look at our greatest humorists. It's like someone like Robin Williams. It seems a particular way, but the truth is he spent years refining material, testing jokes, honing his craft so that those moments that feel improvised are often a combination of in the moment and also preparation. It's preparation meeting opportunity. Preparation allows you to deliver content that connects deeply while still feeling spontaneous. When I'm working with clients, I often try to get across this idea that your preparation gives you freedom. It gives you the freedom to respond to an unexpected question without derailing your talk. It gives you the freedom to follow the energy of the room without losing your structure and flow. It gives you freedom to actually enjoy the experience because you're not worrying about what comes next. The third reason to avoid going off the cuff is because discomfort is actually part of the process of growing. Here's what I see often with my clients. This desire to speak off the cuff, it stems from a deeper discomfort. You get up there and you think, this doesn't feel like me. I'm nervous. I'm flustered. I sound robotic. And you're comparing your relaxed conversational self to this early, growing in skill public speaking version of you, right? This awkward version of you that's up there. It's an unfair comparison. And that transition feels so uncomfortable that you just want to skip it entirely, And so it makes sense in a way. If I just wing it, I'll feel more natural. What that is what my friend likes to call taking a taxi to the finish line. It's skipping the actual thing. It's skipping the actual growth, the actual journey, right? Just to get to a result. It's not really the way you want to get there. Here's the truth. Awkwardness is a phase, not a permanent state. You're allowed to feel weird while you're learning. In fact, you should, right? You absolutely should. Growth is uncomfortable. It's like the tax we pay to get better at something. And the more you practice, the faster you move through that awkward phase. All right, so let's get to some good news. The good news is that you don't have to be perfect. The audience is not even hoping for perfection from you. What they're hoping for is connection with you. They want to feel like you're speaking to them, not at them. And that's something you can absolutely achieve with preparation. The discomfort you feel on stage is not a sign that you're bad at this. It's a sign that you're growing. Embrace it. All right, so let's talk about the path forward. Where does this leave us? Well, let's consider this. Let me paint a picture. You step onto a stage, you step in front of a key audience with a clear plan and great material. You've rehearsed it enough to feel confident while still remaining flexible. You can follow the energy of the room, you can adapt to audience questions, and you can even go off script, but it's all grounded in preparation. Now you're in the sweet spot. Preparation gives you the freedom to be spontaneous without sacrificing clarity or impact. And the best part is it's a process. Each time you speak, you refine, improve, and grow. You may be refining your content, or you may just be refining your ability to go, okay, I have a speaking opportunity. I'm going to structure it in my head. I know I want to have an opening. I want to have a main idea, a point number one, a story. And so it gets you to a place where you can actually get called up in a short amount of time and you design a little speech in your head. right? So that's another offshoot of that preparation. The more you do this, the more you think like a speaker and pretend to be a speaker, the less and less it's going to feel like pretending, and the more it's just going to be, this is just what I do. And it really is a great result to get to. And so, as I'm saying, you're refining your content as well. You're capturing those off the cuff gems, you're writing them down, and then you can use them the next time to make that presentation even stronger. This is how you become the presenter you have always wanted to be: authentic, confident, prepared, and capable of delivering results and driving action. Let me leave you with this. Speaking off the cuff feels like the easy route, but it's actually a harder path. Winging it isn't a shortcut. Preparation is. Preparation is a foundation that gets you where you want to go. And once you've put in the work, you'll realize you're not just better prepared, you're the type of speaker that you look up to. You're the type of speaker that you would want to listen to. And that makes it all worth it.
Do you have a speaking opportunity coming up? Would you like to feel amazing after your next talk? Check out our free resources at speaknextweek.com. Or speak to Colin personally to get a free recommendation on what you can do next to become a stronger public speaker. Because in less time than you think, you can transform public speaking from something you have to do into something you love to do.